In 2009, Joseph Tinelli stepped into season 6 of Hell's Kitchen with the kind of confidence most chefs spend years trying to earn.
I had no doubts. From the first day I stepped into casting, I knew it. I felt it. I felt like this was my calling.
From the moment he walked in, he carried himself like a man who had already won with an unshakable pride. To him, pressure was familiar because he was already used to it due to his time in the military. But what Joseph didn't understand was that in Hell's Kitchen, you either take the criticism or you're gone. While others tried to survive Chef Ramsay's standards, Joseph treated authority like a suggestion. Accountability was optional to him, and that attitude would lead to one of the most infamous confrontations that the show has ever seen.
I asked you one simple question, and you couldn't fucking answer me. And then you want to get all tough and up close and personal.
Fuck you.
There you go.
And 2 episodes were all it took for Joseph to blow up his reputation by going at Gordon Ramsay, but the story behind that moment started years earlier. As a 27-year-old in 2009, when he contested for Hell's Kitchen, Joseph Tinelli was born in 1981 or 1982 in Massapequa Park, a quiet suburb in Long Island, New York. This was a place where people worked hard, kept things simple, and minded their own business, which reflected later on in Joseph's life. Growing up there helped shape who he became, and from a young age, Joseph showed a strong will and need to prove himself. After graduating from high school, he took a bold step for his future by joining the United States Marine Corps at 18. His experience in military school helped him learn how to stay focused when things got intense, but it also left lasting effects that ultimately paved the way for his downfall. Many viewers saw his actions during season 6 of Hell's Kitchen as a reflection of his past, saying, "I know he's a vet and was likely suffering from PTSD that made him act as such. And he probably took a lot of shit from drill sergeants and commanding superiors in the military, and because of that, he was often quick to anger and slow to trust other people." But then, after leaving the Marines, Joseph became a chef and worked as a sous chef in a local restaurant in New York called American Beauty Bistro, slowly building his cooking career without attending a culinary school. With this, it was obvious that he had never taken lessons from a superior chef before his time at Hell's Kitchen.
I didn't exactly go to school, not like every other chef out there.
To challenge himself to be the best he'd ever been, Joseph eventually applied for Hell's Kitchen, a popular cooking competition.
I wanted to be on Hell's Kitchen to win. I came here for a couple different reasons.
Hosted by famous TV personality and chef Gordon Ramsay. In Hell's Kitchen, chefs are expected to answer for their mistakes immediately and publicly. During dinner service, every dish must meet Gordon Ramsay's high standards, unless he explodes in anger.
That's fucking ice cold. I don't get it. He's giving me stuff that's fucking raw. One more slider.
Yes, chef, I won't rush again, chef.
How long's the slider?
5 minutes, chef.
And this was something Joseph had never experienced before. During his audition, he talked confidently about how his Marine training made him fit and able to handle anything thrown at him.
I figured with my colorful past that this might be the way I can actually step to the top. This is what I can take. I had no doubts. From the first day I stepped into casting, I knew it. I felt it. I felt like this was my calling, to come here to be part of Hell's Kitchen.
However, Hell's Kitchen was a tough system designed to break chefs down, and to see who could survive the pressure in the process, trying to meet Ramsay's high standards for food.
This cannot be true! What is that there? What is that there? What is that?
The rules were strict and very clear, especially when it came to accountability. If a chef messed up a dish, they had to admit it with no excuses. Ramsay would always call out mistakes right in front of everyone and the cameras, using public criticism as part of the challenge. The kitchen worked like a chain of command, with Ramsay at the top giving orders that had to be followed quickly and without question.
All of you,
Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
taste that. Quick.
The chefs were split into blue and red teams and competed in challenges and dinner services. When a team lost, they were forced to nominate 2 people for elimination. With the system, there's no way to avoid accountability because it rewarded teamwork, honesty, and the ability to accept criticism. But for someone like Joseph, it was a nightmare waiting to happen because aside from the military, he had never experienced constant orders from a superior in a kitchen setting. Despite Joseph's positive energy and confidence in himself, season 6 of Hell's Kitchen didn't start quietly. As 17 chefs walked into the venue, excited about the new challenge. It was obvious from their wide eyes that they were ready to give their all for the grand prize of $250,000. However, from the first episode, Joseph's attitude stood out more than his skills with a pan. During a tip session led by season 5 contestant Colleen Cleek, who talked about how important it is to taste food while cooking, most of the chefs listened quietly and showed respect.
Follow this simple rule. Always taste your food before you serve it.
Joseph, on the other hand, did not. Instead, he responded in a sarcastic way, saying,
I really could use those tips. I'm hoping later that maybe you can teach me how to tie my shoelaces. Come on now.
That comment immediately set the tone for what was coming for him next in the show. He eventually joined the blue team, bringing real cooking experience, but he also brought a short temper and no patience to understand how the system worked. Before even dinner service started, and when it was time for the signature dish challenge, Joseph served a roasted veal chop with vegetables.
This right here is a roasted veal chop. With roasted root vegetables.
Lovely colour on there.
Thank you.
And the vegetables?
Gordon Ramsay praised the cooking on the veal itself, saying that the meat was done well, but the Brussels sprouts were undercooked. When Ramsay asked Joseph to taste one using his hands, Joseph became defensive right away, demanded a fork, and snapped back in a calm but arrogant way, saying,
Absolutely. You got a fork?
I ain't no animal. If there's a fork available, I like to fucking use it.
You can buy that. You're a big boy.
I'm not an animal.
Do I look like a caveman?
and at the backstage, he fiercely added to his response, saying this,
Without a fucking doubt. That's bullshit. No, I nailed that fucking dish. He knew it. I knew it. No fucking way.
Relax.
Ramsay was disgusted by his attitude.
What a shame.
And although it was a short exchange, it revealed he could not handle criticism without pushing back or taking direction without feeling attacked. And with that, he lost his individual round. In spite of this, the blue team still won the challenge, earning a celebration for the men and a punishment for the women.
Well done. But the mess of those kitchens. Have a look. Turn around. Your punishment is to get those kitchens immaculate for the opening of Hell's Kitchen.
While celebrating, he raised a toast to the women on the red team who were left cleaning the kitchen and said that was where they belonged, delivering casual sexism as if it meant nothing.
Cheers. Yeah, the women clean where they should be at. Cheers.
And while they toast their victory with a little champagne.
As the episodes went on, Joseph continued to refuse to take responsibility for anything. During dinner service, he was assigned to the garnish station. But when problems such as the spinach being cooked incorrectly arose, he didn't step in to help.
Yes, sir.
We got enough problems cooking lamb. I know where you're touching the fucking spinach.
Okay.
Instead, he asked to switch stations with Louis, which Ramsay shut down and put him in his place immediately.
So listen to me. Listen to me. Yeah.
Yes.
My fucking kitchen.
Absolutely.
My fucking restaurant.
All right.
Hey, and right now, big boy. Hey, I'm looking like a fucking idiot.
I got it.
While Louis was eventually kicked out of the competition during that dinner service as a result of his struggles to get things done. Even though the blue team technically won despite the slight glitches, Joseph still called the service a nightmare and never admitted to his own role in the whole chaos. In episode 2, the Firefighter Pasta Challenge showed more of the same arrogance. While Gordon Ramsay showed them how to clean the shrimp perfectly, Joseph bragged that the task was easy and even said that a simple cook could do it.
To clean shrimp is not a difficult challenge. Nothing more than a regular entry-level cook can do.
While also mocking the red team for being so disorganized. But when it was time to clean the shrimp, he only managed 5 acceptable pieces out of the required amount, leaving Ramsay clearly disappointed and proving that all that talk was for nothing.
5. Disappointed, Joseph.
By this point, Joseph's performance did not match his loud confidence about getting things done. Still, the men's team won and Gordon Ramsay rewarded them with a mega yacht trip. It should have been a celebration and a moment to relax. But while they waited for the yacht to arrive, Ramsay took time to personally offer the team advice for better performance. For most contestants, that kind of one-on-one guidance from Ramsay is valuable and almost rare, but Joseph didn't see it that way.
By shooting shit, nothing. The lunches and all this, that's not what I'm here for. I'm not gonna lose my eye on the prize.
We're fired up too, man.
Instead of absorbing the feedback, he dismissed it. His teammates quickly noticed the tension building.
I'm not relaxing because I get to have a nice lunch with the chef.
It's good to get out, but I don't really care.
So they tried to calm him down, but Joseph brushed them off. And once again, the patterns about his arrogance was showing.
I don't really care.
His comments didn't just frustrate his teammates in that moment. They started to shift how people saw him, stirring up comments like, "If I was Ramsay, I would make him stay with a losing team for each punishment whilst his buds go vacationing. Since he wants the learning experience so bad, he can have it." And another one that questioned his past, saying, "Joseph definitely had something loose in his head. He's always so intense and defensive, wondering if something happened to him in his time in the Marine Corps." While everyone was already commenting against his attitude, little did they know that that wasn't even the worst of him, and that side would unleash pretty soon, as he isolated himself from the rest of his team members on the ride. During the second dinner service, Joseph worked appetizers alongside Jim and was excited for the challenge. He tried to sound motivated by saying they would work together and that he was ready.
Anything we have to do to make sure we work as a team. I'm fucking ready.
That motivation quickly turned into aggression as he began yelling at teammates to shut up and relax, calling them chickens.
Would you just shut the fuck up for a minute and fucking relax? You're all like chickens right now. Relax.
Look!
The noise and chaos coming from the blue kitchen quickly got Ramsey upset, and he said,
Nothing's coming out.
Disaster.
What started as pressure turned into complete disorder. Eventually, dinner service collapsed and both teams were thrown out of the kitchen. But even after the failure, Joseph still refused to take responsibility. Instead of owning his part, he shifted the blame to the situation itself.
Didn't feel good about it. Wasn't happy about it. We all look like broken men right there.
Now, with each team having to nominate 2 people for elimination, the blue team gathered to decide. They nominated Tony for serving burnt fish. Their choices were logical because the mistakes were clear and easy to point out. Joseph refused to engage in team discussions entirely. He awkwardly looked away instead of helping, and marked another step in the breakdown to team unity. The real breaking point came during the nomination ceremony after that failed service. But the true climax where everything finally fell apart. As always, Ramsey demanded accountability and reminded both teams that they had to pick 2 people for elimination. This was a core rule of the show because it forced chefs to call out their fellow nominated team members, which was exactly how the competition was designed. This left Ramsey unimpressed and demanded an answer immediately, but failed to give an explanation or correctly answer his question. Instead of doing as he was told, Joseph called Tony's name as the first nominee. He also went on rambling about how there was no peer pressure during the team nomination, who knew who they were. Instead of backing down, Joseph argued back.
Let's be honest. That's a pretty sorry battalion you got there, isn't it?
Right now it is.
As annoying as it sounds, Joseph's replies only infuriated Ramsey.
They can speak for themselves, but they know who they are.
Hey, smartass, I asked you to tell me.
When Ramsey kept pressing him to follow the rules,
Who's the first nominee and why?
No problem.
Joseph completely exploded, much to the surprise of Chef Gordon Ramsay, saying his fellow contestants tried to calm him down, but Joseph kept telling them to shut up.
You may be slightly stupid. First nominee and why?
The room grew tense as Gordon Ramsay kept pressing for an answer.
Said they belong there. Stand up and they know who they are.
So the argument escalated.
I asked for 1 nominee and why, plain English, and you're mouthing off and you couldn't answer me. Plain English, the first nominee and why he's nominated. Is that fucking clear?
That's clear.
Thank you.
I ain't no bitch.
And that was when Joseph crossed the line.
Right now.
Come on, man.
Oh my God.
Things went from bad to worse when Joseph completely lost control and ripped off his jacket, throwing it down on the floor and in front of everyone. He then marched straight toward Gordon Ramsay with his chest puffed out, boldly asking if Ramsay wanted to go outside and fight.
Hi, motherfucker. You wanna talk about fucking fighting?
Oh wow.
You wanna get fucking rough?
Do you think I'm scared? Huh?
As he moved closer, Joseph hurled insults directly at Chef Ramsay, shouting angrily and refusing to back down, which forced security guards to rush in and physically step between them to prevent any punches or physical contact. It became one of the most shocking moments in Hell's Kitchen history because a contestant had never gone that far before. Other chefs stood frozen in shock, their mouths open as they watched everything unfold.
I asked you 1 simple question and you couldn't fucking answer me.
Ramsay stayed calm but firm, his eyes hard and focused, while Joseph continued shouting, believing he was defending himself and standing his guard.
I asked you 1 simple question and you couldn't fucking answer me. And then you want to get all tough and up close and personal.
Fuck you.
There you go.
However, on camera, his behavior looked wild, angry, and completely out of control.
You ain't no but a bitch.
The yelling was only the final outburst because the real cause ran deeper, coming from Joseph's long-standing refusal to bend to the rules, accept authority, or take responsibility. Ramsay did not hesitate and ended it immediately by kicking Joseph off the show right then and there.
You got no respect.
No respect.
Now get out.
Joseph stormed out of the kitchen, flipping his middle finger at everyone as he left, and nearly tripped on a step, stumbling as he exited.
Fuck all y'all. You heard it?
Watch the step.
Yeah, watch the step, bitch.
Joseph smoked a cigarette and kept the insults coming, boasting that any restaurant would proudly hire him despite what had just happened.
Skipping a beat. Go back home. I'll work. Anybody would fucking hire me to work in their kitchen, and they'd be proud to have me there. Fuck him.
This move left the other chefs shocked as they talked about it when they went back to their respective dorms.
Wow!
Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation!
I can't believe that happened, but at least I was like, did that kid really just go up to him? I'm so glad I was here for that, because I never would have believed it.
Even fans were surprised at his actions, as it stirred up mixed feelings amongst them. While some fans found the moment amusing with the comment, "Funniest part was Joseph tripping over the step and Gordon saying, 'Watch your step.' It had me in tears laughing." Another criticized his shocking behavior, saying, "Losing your chance at $250,000 because your ego is enormous." Joseph finished 15th place out of 17 contestants, making him one of the quickest eliminations ever. And he also became the first male contestant in the show's history to voluntarily withdraw from the competition during the elimination process. His time on the show lasted just 2 episodes, but in those 2 episodes, Joseph created one of the most replayed and talked about moments in Hell's Kitchen history. And then it was a confrontation that followed him long after the cameras stopped rolling. His line, "I ain't no bitch," became a running joke throughout the series, and the elimination clip was watched over 2 million times on YouTube and all over social media. It defined Hell's Kitchen Season 6 before the season had even really started, as fans turned that moment into meme videos, and his angry shout of, "I'm not no bitch," into memes and gifs. What should have been a chance to show his talent instead turned Joseph into a joke and an episode into one of the most infamous moments in Hell's Kitchen, all because of Joseph's ego. For this reason, Joseph's public image changed almost overnight. Instead of being seen as a skilled cook with military honor, which he thought he would, instead he created a bad image of himself, which was reflected in comments. He made a fool of himself for no reason. I don't think challenging Gordon to a fight proved anything besides the fact that he's a man-child with a fragile ego. Blogs and TV recaps stopped calling him impressive and started calling him infamous, and that meme reputation stuck to him like a bad tattoo. So every online search led right back to that one night. On top of missing out on the grand prize, real opportunities seemed to disappear as well, contrary to what he boasted about after the fight. But fans threw subtle jabs at his rudeness, which was evident in the comment, "He's from New York." There are many restaurants in New York who would see what he did and think, "That was awesome," and they'd hire him. Things went from bad to worse when Joseph completely lost control and ripped off his jacket, throwing it down on the floor and in front of everyone. He then marched straight toward Gordon Ramsay with his chest puffed out, boldly asking if Ramsay wanted to go outside and fight.
Hi, motherfucker. You wanna talk about fucking fighting?
Oh, wow.
You wanna get fucking rough?
As he moved closer, Joseph hurled insults directly at Chef Ramsay, shouting angrily and refusing to back down, which forced security guards to rush in and physically step between them to prevent any punches or physical contact.
You wanna get fucking rough?
Do you think I'm scared? Huh? Look at you.
It became one of the most shocking moments in Hell's Kitchen history because a contestant had never gone that far before. Other chefs stood frozen in shock, their mouths open as they watched everything unfold.
I asked you one simple question, and you couldn't fucking answer me.
Ramsay stayed calm but firm, his eyes hard and focused, while Joseph continued shouting, believing he was defending himself and standing his guard.
I asked you one simple question, and you couldn't fucking answer me. And then you want to get all tough and up close and personal.
Fuck you.
There you go.
However, on camera, his behavior looked wild, angry, and completely out of control.
You ain't no but a bitch.
The yelling was only the final outburst because the real cause ran deeper, coming from Joseph's long-standing refusal to bend to the rules, accept authority, or take responsibility. Ramsay did not hesitate and ended it immediately by kicking Joseph off the show right then and there.
You got no respect.
No respect.
Joseph stormed out of the kitchen, flipping his middle finger at everyone as he left, and nearly tripped on a step, stumbling as he exited.
Fuck all y'all. You heard it?
Watch the step.
Yeah, watch the step, bitch. I don't need some limey fucking prick.
Boasting that any restaurant would proudly hire him despite what had just happened.
Skipping a beat. Go back home. I'll work. Anybody would fucking hire me to work in their kitchen, and they'd be proud to have.
This move left the other chefs shocked as they talked about it when they went back to their respective dorms.
Wow! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation!
I can't believe that happened, but at least I was like, did that kid really just go up to him? I'm so glad I was here for that, because I never...
Even fans were surprised at his actions, as it stirred up mixed feelings amongst them. While some fans found the moment amusing with the comment, "Funniest part was Joseph tripping over the step and Gordon saying, 'Watch your step.' It had me in tears laughing." Another criticized his shocking behavior, saying, "Losing your chance at $250,000 because your ego is enormous." Joseph finished 15th place out of 17 contestants, making him one of the quickest eliminations ever. And he also became the first male contestant in the show's history to voluntarily withdraw from the competition during the elimination process.